when you guys eat at Ocean Basket, do you guys get a loyalty discount?
Ocean Basket's underrated.
So underrated. So underrated.
I mean, they should, but
They should. Boys,
Yoo-hoo!
how's
two
it
guys who
going?
prove that you don't need fins to make waves. Their name is Goldfish, but their music is quite memorable. Boys, welcome to What's the Tea?
Cheers.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah,
Thank
thanks
you.
for having
Great to
us.
be here.
I'm sure you guys have had an unforgettable career, staying on the theme of unforgettable, memorable. What is a memorable moment from your career early on? That was great. Maybe a nod from someone you looked up to, a jazz teacher, possibly.
Wow.
Anything that like early on you're like, wow, this is.
I think pretty early on, I'll go first. I'm sure Dave's got some as well. He's got some. We've got probably a few stories, but one that was pretty surreal was the first time the second time we were in Ibiza. We played a party at this legendary hotel called Pike's.
Yeah.
And it, Freddie Mercury used to stay there for extended periods of time. Tons of like
Grace Jones.
David Bowie.
Wow.
They'd all like
Wow.
rage at this place. Anyway, we were
Yeah.
playing there. It was like a international music summit, and we'd somehow wangled to be on the lineup. And we were playing, and someone came up to me and said, "Oh, I really enjoyed your keyboard playing. That was really cool. You guys are very interesting. You got a new, fresh sound." And he was like an older guy, and I didn't know who he was. And then someone came up to me and was like, "That's Nick Mason from Pink Floyd."
No way.
And I was like, "What?"
Wow.
Yeah, that was probably the first one where it was like, this is something I can tell my mom,
Wow, yeah.
and she'll
yeah,
be
of
stoked.
course.
You know.
What was the other guy? The singer.
Oh,
from-
Duran Duran.
The similar
Yeah.
story, except it's the same story, except he was in a speedo.
Yeah, he was in the speaker. We were at a pool party, and this guy comes like, "Who are you?" And I was like, "Oh." He said, "I like playing this band." He saw us setting up, and he was like, "Oh, so you're
Yeah.
Goldfish? I've got your album, and I've been listening to it." And I didn't know who he was, blonde guy. And then he came up and he was like, "This is my wife, Yasmin." And I said, "What do you do?" He said, "I'm also in a band." I was like, "Cool, what band's that?" And it was Duran Duran. I was like,
I mean, there's a funny story from even like before Goldfish. We were playing we had a jazz band, and we got a lot of gigs at the time. And one of our professors at university, like he caught us in the cafeteria. and
we
he's
were
like-
studying music.
we were
Yes,
studying
music
music. So
professor.
he, like,
Yeah.
he walked up to us and he was like, he was a very interesting, quirky dude and amazing professor. And like he used to book gigs for people like students and
Yeah.
stuff, and he would always pay like people 250 rand. So it was like always like 250 each.
250.
Like we got this gig 250 each. Anyway, and he came up to us and he was looked at us and he was like, "You guys, why don't you all give me 250 each now?
You're making too much money.
You're making too much money. We've got too many gigs."
we were sort of muscling in on his
Yeah,
on his
stealing
little
his
lives.
business, yeah.
No, he wasn't happy about it.
Oh man, no,
That was pretty funny.
Yeah.
Then I knew we were doing something right.
Right. So when in your career did you realize, okay, this could be a career, right?
You know, obviously, like, how do you make music work? Well, you got to work like really hard. You got to like go for it.
Yeah.
So we were playing a lot of gigs and we were hustling and just
Hotel lobbies,
Like
birthday
all the
parties,
stuff,
weddings.
Whatever needs to get done.
kind of
Yeah,
like
that's-
we were playing. You know, jazz is cool, but it's like when you're young, it's kind of like old school music. It's stuff that like all the buddies were playing jazz, right?
Yeah.
So which is cool. There's nothing wrong with that. But then, you know, obviously we were listening to more modern music, you know, at the time, like there was a whole bunch of like cool acid jazz that was coming out and trip hop and, you know, the lounge music was just starting to kind of arrive and people were starting to like introduce sort of jazz elements. Kind of like hip hop came along and sampled old like soul records
Yes.
and stuff and then turned it into hip hop. And then, you know, these guys were taking little jazz elements and mixing it with like house music and that, and really making some cool stuff. And we were like, "Oh, this is so rad. We should make some. We should do some of that." You know, because it's got this like bring our, because we played jazz and we're
Yeah.
like, "Oh, we play these instruments. Let's do it. Let's combine it." And then obviously that was the genesis of Goldfish, and that's kind of like where it like sort of sprouted from.
I mean, you've played, all over the world now. Ibiza, Glastonbury, Coachella. You guys ever miss your intimate shows from when you started figuring it out? So not really, or do you prefer these?
We still get to
bigger
play.
venues?
We still get to play them.
Play some
Okay.
smaller events. Most notably, there's this incredible venue in Aspen called the Belly Up, and it's 450 people, and it's
Still
like
huge.
it's the most amazing venue. It's like set up
Yeah.
like a little mini kind of coliseum indoors,
Oh, wow.
and they spend a lot of money on the venue, and they've got like all the best sound system, the best lights, and they've got like all the guys who work for them are super cool. It's like most amazing
Yeah.
small venue, and to be able to play with that quality of like sound and equipment, but for that little intimate crowd is awesome.
How did you guys manage to jump out of the South African fishbowl and start, performing overseas or shores? I've heard of your Ibiza story. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah.
It actually started a little bit before that, probably like
Okay.
a month before that. The Cape Film Commission, which was based in Cape Town, used to throw a party in Cannes in France on the beach every year, and they'd basically be promoting, come and film in South
For the
Africa.
Lions Advertising Awards.
Yes.
Yeah, so they'd be like promoting, the region, and like it's a great place to shoot adverts, etc.
Yeah.
And they like throw this legendary beach party every year, and they booked us one year. And Dave and I were sort of thinking, well, Ibiza's pretty close to Cannes. We should probably go over there. And so we played the show in Cannes, and then I think we caught the flights out of Cannes were like, even back then, were horrendous. I think they were like close to €1,000 or something.
Oh my
Yeah,
god.
yeah, because it's like
That's
nice,
even
it's
crazier
next
right
to
now.
the Côte d'Azur. It's
Yeah,
like
so-
it's all like the fancy.
So we
Places.
dropped like a small
Yeah, it
fortune.
was like I think it cost more to fly from there to Ibiza than it would have cost from South Africa.
Yeah.
And-
But it's close.
Yeah, it's closer.
And then we showed up in Ibiza, and we'll just give you the short story. But the first year we went there, we didn't have any shows really, but we'd met this friend of ours from, he was originally from Germany. He used to come party in Cape Town at the shows we used to play there. And he said, "Have you ever come to Ibiza? I like have this spring break style venue up in the north of the island. It's not like a cool club or anything. It's just where like all the kids go off, like their plate rage,
Yes.
basically."
Yeah.
But for Germans.
So they're all there at this thing. You can come play at this resort. So we showed up there, and these German kids didn't know us from Bar of Soap, and we played for them like, "Where?" They're wasted out of their minds, and but they still, they were into it. And then from there, we were able to piggyback a quick 30-minute set playing before Pete Tong at Cafe Mambo. Cafe Mambo is one of the most legendary sunset spots in the world. We slotted in there. We got there. The DJ setup didn't really allow for what we had. We had all our keyboards and samplers, so we ended up setting up on a table very similar to this one,
Nice.
out in the restaurant,
Yeah.
overlooking the bay. And then we were like, how are we going to connect this to the DJ setup that was behind us?
Needs a long
And they were like, we
cable.
don't have any freaking cables. Dave runs upstairs, he's like digging
Like
around
a
the
studio,
sun
like
setting.
a radio studio upstairs.
And he's like sweating and stressing, and he finds one mono RCA cable, which was long enough, just.
Yeah.
So he like comes downstairs, we're like playing in mono. I'm like, okay. Plugged it into the back of the mixer, and we played for 30 minutes. Pete Tong was there, the manager of Pasha was
The
there.
funny thing is there's a switch on those mixers that you can switch the whole mix into mono,
Into mono,
or stereo, and
which
I obviously
no longer
switched it
exists.
onto mono.
Yeah.
But I wonder how many DJs at Cafe Mambo played in mono.
Well done.
Thanks.
One day someone went like click and they're like, oh, that's amazing, that's magic.
Yeah.
And
I've never
that,
actually thought of that before.
yeah, that kind of got us a record deal and a residency at Pasha, and then
Do you think there's a mental shift that needs to take place from becoming a local hero to now, like, garnering a bit of international attention, performing overseas, like a bit of a different mindset you have to adopt?
But I would just say it's like a personal mindset thing, where I think every artist has aspirations to, grow out of their own country. Sometimes I think you might be ahead of where everyone else thinks you're at.
Yeah.
So for us, that was definitely the case,
Yeah.
because nothing had changed except that now we were playing overseas. That was almost like the rubber stamp that even though the songs were exactly the same.
Yeah.
Like we released an album, everyone's like, oh, that's a cool album. And then we were playing in Ibiza, and then suddenly that album somehow
Just
got a new boost
Yeah.
because of that.
It was also
kind
the
of
story.
success.
There was a
Yeah, true.
story attached to the whole thing, and so I think
So context is key.
Of
you
course,
know?
yeah.
Like, it evolves over time, and music means something different depending on the environment around it.
yeah. Does your rider change now when you come back to South Africa? But Oros, Barletta there, Clippies and Co.
Definitely, we need to add both songs to the ride.
sure.
Lamb chops.
Actually didn't, but someone actually brought us a Brandewijn and Coke last night.
Oh, is it? Of
into
course.
the van. They're like,
We were forced to have a Brandewijn.
it's hilarious, it's pretty funny.
You stay in San Diego now. Did you guys move there because you're getting tired of the matcha, smash burger, Cape Town, trends?
That happened after we left.
yeah. What was the reason for
That trend's over there as well, unfortunately.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
No way.
I
Tom's
love me a
sucker for
matcha.
it.
Yeah.
Oh, you're a sucker for a smash burger.
I mean,
Touche.
there's nothing wrong with the smash burger. Just something wrong with drinking cut grass.
What was the reason for
It's just the
making that
travel,
move?
honestly. South Africa is geographically
Far.
far
Yeah.
from a lot of the
Yeah.
shows we were playing. And so
And
we were
10 years
doing...
ago, there were less direct flights out of Cape Town into the
Oh,
rest of the
wow.
world as
Okay.
well. That's a kind of
Yeah.
a new development over the past
Wow.
couple of years.
Yeah.
You know,
So we were doing like 35-hour door-to-doors to just get to a show,
Yeah.
play those shows, then fly all the way home again. And yeah, it got really crazy, and then
yeah.
it just made a sense to say, well, where could we base ourselves in the world where we know we'd be happy
Yeah.
and be able to replicate the lifestyle that we have in Cape Town, and that was San Diego.
I've got some questions from your fans that they've been wanting to ask you for a while. I promise they're not ChatGPT generated at all. This is
Fan GPT.
yeah, straight from your fans. So my octopus teacher asks. They say
How's it?
they say a goldfish has a 3-second memory. So do you guys ever hear your own songs and think, yo, who made this heat?
Jeez, that'd be awesome.
That's a good one.
Actually, we've made a lot of music that's been released and unreleased, and we're always making like little edits and stuff that doesn't necessarily make
Yeah.
official releases, and dig it up off a hard drive and like, whoa, we're actually doing that at the moment with a track we're working on, which first started probably 10 years ago, and forgot about it. You do a little fiddle, make a little track,
Yeah.
forget about it, and then resurrect it later.
Find it again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes some songs just need to marinate for a while.
No, exactly.
They haven't found their place in the world yet, so
Yeah.
kind of goes like that.
Pumlani asks, do you ever feel bad for real goldfish in fishbowls while you guys are out there touring the world, performing at these big stages?
No, because they forget. They're just they get around the other side and they're like, oh, this is pretty. Oh, this is pretty.
Anonymous Vuyo asks,
Anonymous. That's not very anonymous.
exactly. Vuyo is always here. Anonymous Vuyo is always asking questions to our guests. If you swapped your saxophone for a vuvuzela mid-song, do you think your non-South African fans would ever notice?
Yes. Were you not alive during 2010 when the Vuvuzela got banned from the World Cup?
Yeah.
Little does America know that they're hosting the World Cup now coming up in June. They're going to start smuggling. People are going to start smuggling.
And our
those
team's
things
going, which is so great.
Yeah.
So exciting.
Tyrone Buys asks, since you South African icons, would you ever consider changing? Yeah, I think you're a South African icon.
Right.
Yeah, come on now. Would you ever consider changing your name to Kalyun?
Might be bad for the international.
Girl June.
1 million views later, you guys are still out there, busy living, doing what you love around the world. Is there anything that you'd want to cheers to going forward?
Cheers to going
We've
forward.
got a new song coming.
Okay.
Yeah.
Little Wonder. It's coming out on the 10th of April. It's featuring Zolani Mahala from previously from Freshly Ground. She's making her
yes,
way in her solo
yes.
career now. So
Amazing.
yeah, so we got her and
gonna
we
be great.
made a song with her. It's called Little Wonder, and yeah, we're pretty excited to get it out.
Yeah,
We get this
yeah,
little secret out into the world.
Amazing, man.
Yeah.
So that's something we'd want to cheers to is the new song
That's
coming
it.
out.
Yeah, many more.
Yeah,
Cheers
Cheers.
to that.
Cheers to that, guys. Thank you for
Cheers to
coming
the
on to
tea.
What's the Tea. Yeah, appreciate
Thanks
it.
for having us.
Cheers. Love tea.
So why are you giving us untried and tested?
I don't-
Untested.
yeah,
Okay, well, we
I haven't had anyone
we'll
come back
give
and
you
say
a-
they don't like it yet.
We'll give
so-
you a
So
review.
It must be good.